Welcome to Monday's Morbid Minute. This is your quick rundown of the week's most fascinating stories involving death, disease, medicine, and injury, making headlines and rippling through the pop culture. We'll tease the cases here, then do a deep dive into the pathology, forensics, and medical mysteries later in our normal Mother Knows Death episodes, in articles over in the Gross Room, and during our weekly YouTube live bonus episode exclusively for Gross Room members. If it's dark, disturbing, medically bizarre, or just too good not to dissect, you'll hear it first on Monday's Morbid Minute. In true crime and court cases, we have some updates on a few stories we have talked about on Mother Knows Death and in the Gross Room. Last week, we had our friend Joe Giacalone on the show, and he was talking about the LISK, or the Long Island serial killer case. Well, to everyone's shock this week, we have heard that he is expected to plead guilty. Rex Heuermann, the architect accused in the Gilgo Beach serial killings, was originally arrested in 2023 and is charged with murdering 7 women over a 17-year span, including the so-called Gilgo 4. Investigators linked him to the murders through DNA, burner phones, vehicle evidence, and a disturbing computer file described as a, quote, blueprint for the killings. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is facing criticism after taking part in a TikTok trend where she appeared to joke about the 2015 murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. After the backlash, she said that the video was not received the way she intended and acknowledged it upset people. In the TikTok video in question, she participated in the We Listen and We Don't Judge challenge, making reference to her criminal history. In the video, she said, quote, "I went to prison for 8.5 years because my own mom, and during that time she was making an X symbol with her arms." The reaction has once again highlighted how divided the public remains over Gypsy's story. Some see her as a survivor of extreme medical abuse, while others feel joking about the killing shows poor judgment and a lack of sensitivity. Newly surfaced surveillance video shows Brian Koberger calmly chatting with a Washington DMV employee just days after the University of Idaho killings, while changing the license plate on his white Hyundai Elantra. In the footage, the worker mentions the murders, not realizing she is speaking to the man who would later plead guilty to killing the 4 students. In the footage, the worker says, quote, "I like how small, quiet, and I would say safe, but the whole Moscow thing kind of makes me feel a little less." And Koberger nodded his head and said, "Yeah." The video has drawn attention because of how ordinary and relaxed he appears to be so soon after the crime. Police in Independence, Missouri say fentanyl was discovered taped inside the packaging of several Barbie dolls sold at a discount retailer. One mother said that she and her partner were dusted with powder when they opened the toy in their car just before they were going to give it to their daughter. Authorities tracked down and recovered all 5 affected dolls, and there were no reported injuries. Investigators say the dolls themselves were not tampered with, and the fentanyl was hidden in the packaging. Utah mother Shannon Tafuga is charged after police say she forced an 11-year-old boy into her car because she believed he had been bullying her autistic son. Prosecutors say she took the child to her house, made him apologize, and threatened that her husband could beat him up. The boy was later returned home, but court documents say the experience left him anxious and changed his daily routines. A North Texas man named Michael Chadwick Fry has been arrested after authorities say he threw a bucket containing human bones over the fence of the FBI Dallas office and posted video of it online. Investigators said that he had earlier told his mother he needed money because he, quote, had a body that he needed to move. The case widened when police allegedly connected him to a stolen urn in Oklahoma City and a disturbed mausoleum in Denton County. He now faces abuse of a corpse and evidence tampering charges. A Los Angeles jury found that Meta and YouTube were liable in a landmark social media addiction trial brought by a young woman. Jurors concluded that the platform's designs, including things like autoplay and infinite scroll, were a substantial factor in harming her mental health. She was awarded $6 million in damages, with Meta assigned most of the blame. Legal experts say that the verdict could influence thousands of similar lawsuits still pending across the country. A court in Brazil acquitted a mother after she admitted killing her boyfriend, who she caught sexually assaulting her 11-year-old daughter. The prosecutors argued that the killing was premeditated and that she drugged, stabbed, mutilated, and burned his body. Her defense argued that she acted in a desperate rage to protect her daughter, and the jury found her not guilty. The family of 4-year-old Kennedy Ray is speaking out after the autistic child drowned in the pool of a Miami-Dade Airbnb rental. Her parents say that the home was advertised as family-friendly, but lacked key pool safety features such as alarms, barriers, or secure locks. They are now pushing for changes, planning on filing a lawsuit, and want the property removed from rental platforms so another family does not go through the same tragedy. In pop culture and celebrity news, internationally acclaimed forensic scientist Dr. Henry Lee has died at age 87. Lee was one of the most recognizable forensic experts in the world and played major roles in thousands of criminal cases, including some of the most famous trials in modern American history, like the O.J. Simpson case. He founded the Henry C. Lee Institute of Forensic Science at the University of New Haven and became a household name through courtroom testimony, media appearances, and his push to modernize forensic investigation. Character actor James Tolkien has died at 94 in New York. He was best known for playing the intimidating vice principal Mr. Strickland in Back to the Future films and Commander Stinger in Top Gun. Tiger Woods was arrested after a rollover crash near Jupiter Island, and authorities say that he showed signs of impairment, refused a urine test, and was charged with DUI and property damage. A breathalyzer reportedly showed no alcohol, raising the possibility that medication or drugs were involved instead. This is his fourth public vehicle accident, with at least 2 of them coming with DUI charges. Some are now arguing that Woods should be suspended from golf-related roles or step away from the sport entirely, as questions grow about whether people around him have enabled a long pattern of reckless behavior. In medicine and health news, an 84-year-old Canadian woman says that she went to Vancouver General Hospital in severe pain and was shocked when a doctor brought up Canada's Medical Assistance in Dying program before she even had a diagnosis. Her and her daughter said that she was eventually found to have a hairline pelvic fracture from osteoporosis, spent about a week in the hospital, and recovered in rehab and is now doing well. Vancouver Coastal Health said it was not aware of the reported conversation and noted that emergency department staff are generally not the ones who raise medical aid in dying concerns. A father and son in Quebec have been banned from donating sperm after a court filing alleged their donations led to more than 600 children or pregnancies combined. The lawsuit says one woman used the father's sperm for 3 children and the son's for the 4th, then later learned the 2 men were biologically related and had far exceeded the donation limits that they allegedly promised. The pair denied making those promises, but a judge issued an order prohibiting any further donations. A new anatomy study described the frenula delta, the underside area of the penis where the shaft meets the glans or the head of the penis, as being the penis's most nerve-dense sensory zone. Researchers used detailed tissue analysis and concluded this region contained the highest concentration of sensory structures in the organ and are now calling it the male G-spot. Unfortunately, this study also notes that this area may be damaged by circumcision and hopes their research can better guide surgeons in the future to avoid this highly sensitive area during the procedure. A new Oxford-led analysis suggests that men who ejaculate more frequently may have healthier, fresher sperm, especially in fertility settings. Researchers found that past recommendations of long periods of abstinence were associated with more DNA damage, lower motility, and greater oxidative stress in sperm. Storing sperm too long inside the body may let quality decline, so regular ejaculation, including masturbation, may help flush out older, more damaged sperm. In freak accidents and unexpected deaths, a California family is speaking out after 4-year-old Camila Romero swallowed a button battery and suffered catastrophic internal injuries. Her parents say that she was treated as if she had a virus when she showed cough, fever, fatigue, and trouble breathing, but an X-ray later revealed the battery. Doctors at Loma Linda University Children's Hospital said the battery burned a hole near her lungs and triggered a serious lung infection. Camilla remains in critical condition, and her family is warning other parents to check toys and household items for hidden button batteries. An 8-year-old Texas boy died after choking on a grape during snack time at his elementary school. School staff and emergency responders tried to help, but the grape was lodged too deep in his airway. His family said he was a bright, funny third grader, and the school community has been mourning his death. A 22-year-old Texas spring breaker, Michael Brown, has died after being thrown from the top of a moving Jeep. Video that went viral shows Brown shirtless and twerking on the roof moments before the crash. Police say the Jeep struck a Tesla on Highway 361 and Brown suffered a fatal head injury. The Jeep driver was arrested on suspicion of DUI. A 1-year-old boy died after choking on an acrylic nail during a diaper change. Reports say the nail likely belonged to his mother, a manicurist, and that it entered his mouth before she could stop him from swallowing it. An autopsy found he died from asphyxiation caused by airway obstruction. Hyundai has recalled 68,500 Palisade SUVs in the United States and Canada and issued a stop sale after a 2-year-old girl died when a power-folding third-row seat crushed her to death in Ohio. Regulators and Hyundai say flawed software in the seat controller may fail to detect an occupant or obstacle, allowing the seat to continue moving forward. Owners will receive a software update, and Hyundai is also reviewing whether additional hardware changes are needed. In other death news, an Australian road safety campaign has gone viral for using an eerie car wrapped in synthetic human skin to show just how much ultraviolet exposure drivers take on through the side windows. The project, created with Oscar and BAFTA-winning prosthetics studio ODD Studio, shows burned, blistered skin concentrated on the side of the car where the driver would sit. The point is that while most windshields block UVB well, side windows may still allow significant UVA through, which contributes to skin aging and can increase skin cancer risk over time. And in our last story, biotech startup R3 Bio is drawing attention for proposing so-called organ sacs, genetically engineered body systems that contain functioning organs but no brain, so they would not be able to feel pain. The company says the idea is to create a more realistic testing model than isolated organs or organ-on-chip systems, while also reducing animal experimentation. Supporters say the idea could reduce animal suffering and improve how scientists study whole-body drug effects. Critics say it raises major ethical questions and remains highly theoretical. For now, even the company acknowledges the technology is still in its early stages. And that's it for this week's Monday's Morbid Minute. For full breakdowns of these stories, plus any breaking news that develops, be sure to tune in to this week's regular Mother Knows Death podcast and check out The Gross Room. Don't forget to subscribe to us on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. And while you're there, leave us a review. We would love to hear what you have to say. If you see a story you want us to cover or have questions or comments, email us at stories@motherknowsdeath.com. Thank you for listening to Mother Knows Death. As a reminder, my training is as a pathologist assistant. I have a master's level education and specialize in anatomy and pathology education. I am not a doctor, and I have not diagnosed or treated anyone, dead or alive, without the assistance of a licensed medical doctor. This show, my website, and social media accounts are designed to educate and inform people based on my experience working in pathology so they can make healthier decisions regarding their life and well-being. Always remember that science is changing every day, and the opinions expressed in this episode are based on my knowledge of those subjects at the time of publication. If you are having a medical problem, have a medical question, or are having a medical emergency, please contact your physician or visit an urgent care center, emergency room, or hospital. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Mother Knows Death on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get podcasts. Thanks.